round the table, not round the square or triangle. We come to hang, have a game on Fridays as we're able. We play well here in Camelot, we are chums and fun, but Camelot. We're hanging around the table, our host is formidable. He runs a strange, often insane, but sure he's quite unstable. He's automatic in Camelot, but seems never to have done a lot. Label, quite incomprehensible. Blue wrench in hand, we have no plan but to sit and hear Dodge babble. It's a lazy time in Camelot.
I have to shake my bum a lot.
This channel is a not-so-proud member of YouTube's all-encompassing special society of heavily overwhelmed layout enthusiasts. Check any railway show, check any railway club, check any layout, check your own house. You'll find one of us somewhere. Warning, the content of this stream is not suitable for children under the age of 16. The topic, language, themes, attitude, and personality of the presenter is not appropriate for anyone, much less children under the age of 16. Topics discussed will not center on trains and will focus on anything except politics. It just happens trains are running. Any similarity between characters, situations, trains, and intelligent thoughts is strictly a coincidence. Any rebroadcast or transmission of the stream without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember the 3 rules for model train layouts and pretty much anything. It's your layout, do what you want as you want. Do not tell someone else what to do unless they ask you directly what they should do. Do not call out, mock, criticize, or insult another channel on your channel or anyone else's channel. Thank you for your cooperation.
See it, you'll love it, and it's all done in the best possible way.
Hey everybody, happy Friday. Welcome back to the Royal Meeting Hall in the parlor of Castle Camelot, also known as my basement. I am your host, Anthony Dodge, the model train outsider, the Märklin outsider, and back home. We're back home. So let's get into greeting all the knights who have gathered so far. If you haven't typed in a couple of minutes, go ahead and just type hello again, just so I can get you up on the board here. So we have our CEO, Sir Tim of Dowd, is here. We've got Sir Scott from Valkyrie Junction, Sir Darren from Canadian Locomotive Logistics. Sir Chuck Schreiber is here. Sir Hi from H&H Express. We got Sir Andy, the hot dog pilot. We got Sir Ifo Fanzon. We got Sir Jean of Ricard. We've got Sir Simon, the Midland Rail enthusiast. We've got Sir Greg, Midsummer Rail. We've got Sir Dino from Model Railway Shed. We've got Sir Randall Ellison is here. We got Sir Dave from Scott Rails. We got Sir Tom Couples, our Sergeant at Arms. We've got Sir Tom Houston. And we've got Sir Tom from Tom's Märklin Layout. So we ended with a few Toms there. So I hope you're all well. Special shout outs to all who watch in the background. We've had quite a few folks. couple of Marks. Mark from Donegal Dad. We've got Sir Mark from Model Railway Fantasia that gave us an update video last weekend. So that was cool to hear from Mark again. There's people I have not seen or heard from since we've been back. So I hope Sir Alan of Wiles is doing okay. I have not heard anything one way or the other since he was on the road to recovery and appeared at, I think it was the cruise show. I forget which train show he went to. Sir Robert from Robert's Train Set. Hey, Sir KJ from Roland Blue. Sir Andy, March West Junction. Going out for an evening meal, but checking in. All right. Sir Andy is on vacation. You'll have to forgive me. I forgot where, but he and his wonderful wife are out and about. I would say somewhere warm, but right now the entire Northern Hemisphere is on fire. So everywhere is warm. Maybe it's even cooler near the Mediterranean than where we are right now. But we've broken 100 degrees pretty much every day the last 3-4 days here, which is not usual. It does happen occasionally. But yeah, it's just been ridiculous here as well as any other places. Monsville, Lord Monsville is here. Great to have you. Morocco, that's right, you're in Morocco. Yep, my Märklin shirt, I picked it up at the Märklin factory a couple of years ago. It still fits, so despite my recent weight gains. But let me see, has anybody else popped in? So, it was quite an adventure for 3 weeks in Germany. I've just, in the last day or so, begun just preparing to edit the videos. I've tried to force myself to get back in the routine of my watching YouTube videos. Of course, Joyce is home now. You know, she's on her summer break. So my free time does shrink a little bit, or my free time now includes activities with Joyce. This weekend, of course, yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, was Canada Day. So a belated happy Canada Day to all Canadians. Tomorrow's July 4th for Americans. Bastille Day is coming up for the French in about 11 days. Hey, Sir Dave, Sir Steve, and Dame Jenny from Stormy Skies. And Sir Lee from Anfield Road is here. I saw you earlier, but the name had fallen off. Sir James from Dundas Junction. Nice to have you here. But anyhow, going back to the vacation, it was one of the more interesting vacations. We had a lot of extreme highs, but also a lot of annoyances between weather, the German rail system right now, because they are in a 10-year project of overhauling their system. And at least twice while we were there, they ran tests on the information system, and everything went haywire. Hamburg was just a mess. Stuttgart station was a mess. Traffic in and out of Stuttgart was mostly okay, except south of Stuttgart, they were doing some construction. So those were disrupted, but that never affected Joyce and me because we were always south and east of Stuttgart. But we wanted to really go south because there was that idea if there was one place we were thinking of going, but we said, nah, we're just not going to risk it with that disruption. Hamburg is just a mess getting into and out of. They're having all kinds of problems there. Frankfurt itself is okay, but regions outside of Frankfurt were crazy. But we had a lot of late trains, a lot of crazy events. But for the most part, we were traveling short distances, so it didn't affect us drastically. But when it did affect us, it was aggravating. We got to our apartment in Neumünster 3 hours later than planned because we had an hour delay getting to Hamburg. And then literally 8 minutes from Hamburg main train station, where we had to connect to our train up to Neumünster, our train stopped and sat for 2 hours because half of the platforms lost their systems and they were taking turns jigsawing trains in the high speed. Their high speed platforms were cut in half, and so all these high speed trains, like we were on the ICEs and such, they had to alternate them onto the platforms where they could get them on. So yeah, it was crazy. But we survived. We had a great time. Really, a lot of shops. We visited a lot of wonderful model train shops. There was only one model train shop, and I didn't film them all. In a couple of cases, they didn't want us to film. A couple of cases, they were kind of small. There wasn't a lot there to film, but still wonderful people. And we had great chats with a lot of these folks. There's only one train shop that I could have filmed. It would have made a good video, but I decided not to film because the guy who ran the shop was very, I won't say unfriendly, just completely removed. It was in the town of Erfurt. We walked into his train shop because he was finally open after vacation, and maybe he's just tired from vacation, but he's got a really nice Märklin train shop, a lot of Märklin stuff, a lot of Roco and Pico, but he's got a very good Märklin selection. He's got some stuff there, and he might have had more, and he had some secondhand stuff. I don't know what he had, because every other train shop Joyce and I have ever visited in our life, as soon as we walk in, somebody says, "Hi there. Hey, can I help you? Are you looking for something?" We walked in and this guy was just behind his counter and texting on his phone and then messing with his cash register and stuff like that, and just didn't acknowledge us. We weren't regulars, and he didn't acknowledge us. I'm looking around, pointing at things. Oh, this is cool. That's cool. Joyce is saying, "Are you going to ask him to film?" And I was like, well, I'm going to wait for him to, so we saw some things we were interested in. And he just ignored us. He wanted nothing to do with us, even though we had said hello. And I finally saw a couple of things I wanted, and then a couple of things I might have been interested in, and he might have made a sale. And I started putting stuff on the counter. And again, he showed no interest. I finally said, "There's a car in this case I would like." He's like, "Okay." Opens it, gets a key, opens it, sets it on the counter. And then that's it. No discussion, no friendly. "Oh, okay. Hey, if you like that, I've got this," which every other shopkeeper we've ever run into. So we were not enamored of this shop. Even when he rang us out, he lightened up a little bit. When he rang us out, because I made a couple of purchases. But he could have made at least double of what he did sell to us had he shown even remote interest in customer interaction. He just was a cold fish, and he wasn't an old guy. I mean, he was probably a couple years younger than me. Yeah, and that's how it is, Tim. He would have made more money from me had he shown even the remotest interest in doing this. And then you flip that with the video we did put up with a guy named Ulrich. This was a shop in Neumünster, where Ulrich was closing at 1. We got to a shop at 12:45, and he was just, as soon as we walked in, he was happy to see us. Chat. "Look, I know you're going to close, and I really want to look around. So, and see if you got," and he had some stuff I wanted. Definitely had some stuff I wanted. And it was just, he wanted nothing to do with us. Or I'm sorry, Ulrich was like, "Don't worry, I can stay. Don't worry about closing at 1. And he chatted with us, and we still felt bad about keeping him, but we stayed there until 1:15. Very friendly man, and he made a lot of sales. He sold a lot of stuff. But yeah, I'll talk more about the vacation as we go along. So anyhow, you guys, I put the 3 videos up of the 3 big trains I bought. I have not worked. Jean Ricard is waiting for me to work on this one, which I bought, an E44, which I need to convert to digital, but I just have not really been ready to sit down and fuss with wiring and decoders and stuff. Anyhow, I'm losing half my audience already. Okay, so obviously the big news. So let's go to the camera. And in line one, we're going to start with this French SNCF, but I have this gorgeous set of cars that I will be talking about off and on. I have to run this guy at speed so he can handle the, so in this camera, you're not going to just see how glorious those cars are. But if you want to see them up close, go watch my video. But a really lovely Orient Express set of coaches. By far, one of my favorite deals coming out of Germany. But just, and the thing is, I knew those were waiting for me because I bought those actually before I went to Germany, and I knew they were waiting for me there. Simon Jensen brought them in. I bought them from his friend's shop, and Simon held them and brought them down to us when we got to Neumünster, which was very lovely of Simon to do that. But the biggest one-time thrill was this, and there's a great story. Again, you can watch the video where I tell the story how I saw one set and then found out it was 2-rail, and was sort of like, oh, darn, man, I finally saw one in a store and it's the wrong system. And John is just pointing, Joyce is laughing, saying, Anthony, did you look up there? And I look up and, oh, there it is. But yeah, the Lufthansa Express here. Huh. I can't tell if I'm getting that on or off. But we'll get the Lufthansa Express going. Now, I've added the 3 cars from Herb's collection. So 3 of the cars light up, 3 of the cars don't. But yes, very excited for that. That was the big win. That was the really big excitement. That was top of the list of my shopping list going to Germany, was finding a Lufthansa Express, and I found it. And it was a digital version, so I didn't have to convert it. Hey, there is Sir Eric. And welcome, Go For Painting. Hey, Sir Eric from Von Don Eisenbahn, and Sir Willie, and Lady Cara. Dame Cara, I should say, not Lady, Dame Cara. So, I'm taking my time getting things going. Sorry about that. All right. Line 3 is, I bought these cars for a specific reason, as you might have seen in the video. But once I actually got them out of the box and set them on, there was no doubt I was not going to run them today. These coaches, no, they're not Orient Express, gorgeous coaches, but they are beautiful coaches. I am falling in love with this train, this little Danish ski excursion set from the 90s. The train ran in the 90s. So I am running it with the wrong loco. I don't care. They match perfectly. It makes a great train. I love these coaches. I had looked at them in the box and the ones I got before I went to Germany. But once I actually lined them up on my layout, it was, wow. They make a gorgeous train. They are a gorgeous set of coaches. I really like that set a lot. All right, not to forget you freight guys. I'm running a little freight train here, a little mixed freight. It's got a couple of my new cars, 4 new tankers, and 1 new tarpaulin car. So we'll get this guy in motion. So it's a long freight train for the short loop. And I'm having the 186 run that one. Hey there, Sir Simon from Danelaw. It was wonderful. And the biggest thing we got to talk about, though I think we talked about it a bit on a live stream from Germany, is we went to Miniature Wonderland. It's Simon's first time there. So I'm hoping he has a great time. It's Joyce and my 8th time there. But what stole the show wasn't the newest train area they set up. The new South American Andes, Atacama rainforest and so forth area that they're putting in, which we got to see a lot of. It was their virtual reality game area. Oh my gosh, we paid for the short version. Joyce, even before we were done, Joyce is like, next time we come back, we're doing the long version. Oh my God, that virtual reality thing is hilariously awesome. That was such a cool experience. All right, now run the other lane. I really couldn't decide with all the new stuff running. I couldn't decide what to run the last lane. So I just grabbed a class 012 and a bunch of older Era 3 German coaches. And that's, whoops, he's going backwards. You're still going backwards. There he goes. And then and again, I couldn't decide. I really could not decide what to run in the back. I decided to run the red shunter, and then I just grabbed some of these self-unloading hoppers or whatever they're called, and a couple other things. And hello. No, I mean, I've been to Germany almost every year since 2003. But I mean, the big change is just what they're doing with the rail system. But welcome in, Sir Engineer. So anyhow, let me get this last guy in motion. Now in Märklin, the big news for my Märklin system before I go to the bottom is Märklin had an upgrade with the central station when I got back, and the web app is now fixed. So I can now control all my turnouts and switches on the web app again. I haven't been able to do it for about 3 months, but now they're all back on. So Märklin finally addressed that fix. Hey, Sir Spencer from Spence Too Much. Let me see if I can get that 186. I got him going a little slower than. And I need to slow down that 012. He's flying. Let's slow him down a bit. Okay, so let me get to the floor and show you what I'm running. I will say I had a couple of issues with this earlier. I've been trying to work it out. I'm just hoping I have sorted it. The Thalys was not liking the inside line. Even though it's radius 3, it was not liking that inside line. But yeah, because this is the other big deal. So let's go down to the floor so you can see some more. Whoops, I adjusted that camera too much. Sorry, guys. I was trying to adjust that camera. Running on the outside, we have got my favorite UK train of the modern era, the Azuma. And then on the inside, a train I didn't do a video of, and maybe I should, but this was a happy buy, even though it's a 2-rail analog. this was a very happy buy. I bought it in a shop. I should have spent another 80 euros and bought the TGV as well. But yeah, I am tickled to have this guy. I just hope. But I got myself a Thalys. Sorry if I just burst your ears out. I'm right next to the microphone here. But I got myself that Thalys, and I am loving it. I ran it a little bit last week for about an hour and a half. But I could not. Whoops. Yeah, I got a little dead area there. I need to clean the track down here, apparently. Whoops, nope, he completely derailed. Oh. I think down the line, I'm going to add a little weight to the middle cars on this Thalys. It ran fine last week. It's just, but that was on the outer line, and I moved it to the inner line for this show so I could run the Azuma on the outer line, and he's not quite liking the tightness of the curve, even though it's radius 3 curves. Yeah, Mr. Engineer, there's 3 sites that are already doing it. I'm on one called Connect, and Tom from Märklin's Layout showed me another one that he's on. So I definitely think it worked. There are hundreds of guys on the one side I'm on, and yeah, they're great digital collections. So it's just how well you set it up, how accurate you can do it. If you want to expand it into all European trains or what have you. Hey, Sir Jason from Fresno. If I can find them, Ifo, then yeah, I would probably expand it to at least a 6-car set. I probably wouldn't go 8, but I would definitely make it 6. Because I assume they sell them in tandems of 2. Based on the way these connect. But then again, maybe they can sell it 1. Because I'd even do it as a 5-car set. But yeah, I would like to do it as a 6-car set. This is, was this a river? I've already forgotten what it is. It's a Mehano. That's it. It's a Mehano. So I'd have to find other Mehano coaches. But, you know, people are talking about what's your favorite train you brought back. The gorgeousness of these Orient Express cars, that's at a level. But also the excitement of having bought them had already been, I knew they were waiting for me. It wasn't like I was worrying about finding them. Finding that Lufthansa in one of the last shops I went to, the emotional high I had from that. Because Lufthansa was #1 on my shopping list. And having it as a 6-car set, even though 3 cars are lit up and 3 cars aren't, I'm just not that much of a rivet counter to care right now. I just wish I could. What I'd like to do is wire it all up with one shoe, because each of those Märklin cars has its own shoe, and that creates drag. Even though it's a very light drag because the metal just rides upon the 3rd rail nub, it's still enough of it's a resistance. Hey, is that Sir Raymond Legs is here? Hey, Sir Raymond, how are you? So did I enjoy my holiday? Yes, I did. It's just, it had a lot more frustration because of the trains and the weather. We arrived and it was cool and rainy every day for the first week and a half. And then the last 4 days, it was 35 to 40 degrees Celsius. It just massive heat wave. We came back and it was about 30 to 31 Celsius here for a couple days. And then we just kept going up 32, 33, 34 Celsius. And then the last couple of days, it's been 30, 37 Celsius, 38. We had one day where it was 41 heat. You know, temperature was 39, but felt like 41 Celsius. So that's 100. Felt like yesterday we had a point where it felt like 107. Or was that Wednesday? That was Wednesday, where the heat index was 107 Fahrenheit, which is about 42 Fahrenheit, I believe. It was nasty. I don't think I've ever seen a heat index that high in June. It was still June then. Occasionally in August, you could get a heat index that high. But yeah, weather's crazy everywhere. Yeah, Raymond, I saw those and I bought them immediately. Saw them at a little shop, a friendly lady, and I was like, or no, that was the man. And I bought those immediately. As soon as I saw them, I'm buying those. Those are coming home with me. The lady I bought stuff from was really cool. Where are you? Where are you, fellas? Oh, there you are. Early in the trip, I'm going to have to make myself a little bigger here. We went to a little town called Kirchheim, which is southeast of Stuttgart, or southwest of where we were in Ebersbach. And this is a woman who's the weather. Now I'm reading Andy's kind of and flubbing that in. We went to the shop. Her toy shop. It's now a toy shop and stuffed animals and stuff. She's expanded, but originally it was all model trains. And clearly her husband ran the shop and then slowly expanded into other areas. And she ran those areas and he ran the train shop. But clearly her husband passed away a few years ago and the train shop is forgotten. In fact, to show us the train shop, she had to move a couple of racks, roller racks, out of the way because the train shop was on the basement floor. The Untergeschoss, I should say, Untergeschoss. Anyhow, but she clearly had gotten a recent delivery because these came out last year. But let me show them to you real quick. These are not technically part of the Märklin logo stuff. There's actually real cars that have this running on the German rail system. She had 7 of these. I should have bought 4, at least 3, and maybe 4. And I didn't because it was early in the trip. And these are not inexpensive. These are a little more expensive than the usual. But I picked up 2 of these and I couldn't be happier. And I also bought some screws and some traction tires from her, a bunch of little knickknacks because her husband had 2 cabinets filled with all the little stuff. So the stuff that was on my list, I just went 2 of those, 5 of those, 8 of those, and just bought a bunch of little stuff. But I was really happy to see these because I wanted to get these. And when they were on sale, like on eBay or online, they were a ridiculous price, and I got them for a good, fair price. Hey, Sir Ray Central, how are you? So let's go back to trains, and let's try to find, whoop, nobody there. Oh, let's just do the overhead view for a little bit. Well, let's do this view first. Watch that train going through the trees. Oh, my God, I love that train. That little Danish train is working its way into my heart. Hey, Sir Steve, 87 PSAP, how are you? So again, I was out of touch for a month. So, you know, people are like, hey, where have you been? Well, I've been in Germany. And when Joyce and I are in Germany, I'm just not on YouTube. I apologize for that, but and I know I shouldn't have to apologize, but I do because it's how I am. But yeah, we had no time to watch. We get up somewhere between 6:30 and 7:30 in the morning. We have breakfast. We continue to discuss what are we going to do that day, because we have a plan, but the plan is malleable. We can change it. If the weather's not conducive to going here, we have someplace else we can go. So we get ourselves ready, and we're out the door 8:30 to get to the train station by 9, because the tickets we buy are valid beginning at 9 o'clock. And we go off on our adventure. And then we get back. If we get back into town early enough, we do dinner, and then walk around the town, walk around the neighborhood, and then we get back to the apartment about 9 o'clock at night, and we're tired. We've been gone for 12 and a half hours, walking, hiking, because we don't use, the only transportation we use is the trains to get where we're going and the trains to get back. Otherwise, we walk. Everywhere we go, we walk. If it's a big city, yes, we'll take a bus to get to another part of the area to do the hiking we're going to do. So there's literally no time to watch YouTube. I had a couple of times where weather or heat caused us to stay in, and I loaded up my computer and I started typing replies to all the comments on videos. Your plan was to go to work, then travel, go to a place, then work again, then travel. Yeah, KJ, Joyce and I, now I don't have one of those things. Joyce is addicted to her, well, it used to be a Fitbit, but now she's got, I think, a Samsung version or whatever. And so she'll let us know. Today was a 30,000 step day. Today was a 25,000 step day. Today was only 13,000 steps. Today was 18,000 steps. How many flights of stairs? Like, what was the one? We went to the castle in Esslingen, and we did 32 flights of stairs that day. And most of it was hiking up to the castle in Esslingen, which isn't on that high a hill, but you do have to go almost 400 stone steps from the Middle Ages, which means they're not level, they're not square, you know. Oh my God! Even Joyce was dying at one point. Like, okay, we need to stop here, catch our breath. But 391, I think I counted 391 stone steps up. Hey, Sir Michael Johnson, how are you? Everything Danish should have that effect on me. Well, not everything Danish, but definitely this is a beautiful train. Now I need to find a Class ME locomotive. I'm keeping an eye on Hobby Caden to get a Märklin appropriate ME to pull both this train and the other Danish era 4 train I have. But yeah, it's going to be one of those trips where the longer we go, we're going to look back on things. Like Joyce and I was just going through some pictures and some things, and she's like, oh my God, I forgot we did that. Oh my gosh, I forgot we were there. Or she's trying to tell her family, her siblings, about something. It's like, Anthony, what town was it where we did this? And I'm like, I don't remember which town, and keeping the town sorted. You know, like anybody who's been to Heidelberg, we're like, how can you confuse Heidelberg? Well, we did Stuttgart, Tübingen, Heidelberg, Würzburg. We did all these cities back to back to back to back. And it's like a blur right now. Once we get the videos and go through the videos again, then we'll be like, oh, yeah. But we had one where we did 3 cities in one day. We did Plockingen, Esslingen, and Kirchheim all in one day because it was a rainy day and Joyce didn't want to just sit inside the apartment. So we went and did some shopping, and she said, are there any towns with train shops in the area? It's like, well, this town has 2. She's like, let's go there. Joyce was, I won't say she was as enthusiastic about the train shopping, but she was very encouraging. If it meant getting out of the apartment, even in crappy weather, well, is there a town with a train shop we can go to? Because she knows, okay, we can do that. We're gone, you know. Yeah, I saw you mention that in the Steve Childers stream earlier. Modern Big Gulch grain. Okay, that would be cool. Just no T in it. Big Gulch is G-U-L. There's actually a place, I think it's in Montana, that is actually called Big Gulch. And now on all my Matt Clark things, because we mentioned Big Gulch, they put an ad for that town's tourism board on half of my Matt Clark videos. It's like, it's not that Big Gulch. Yeah, he is kind of flying, isn't he? He had to warm up a bit. We'll slow him down a bit. He wasn't going quite that fast at first, but he's clearly loosened up. Hey, Sir Andy D of Puff Candy, how are you? Do I plan on getting a big boy? Do I plan on it? No. If a 3-rail version became available at a price I thought was very fair, then I would do it. But no, it's not in my foreseeable plans. I really want there's 2 trains I would like to get running on my layout. I want a modern era Amtrak. I've got the Märklin Amtrak of 70s and 80s design, you know, phase 2 or 3, whatever it's called. I want a modern era Amtrak. I want an Asila. I want the Charger, the Siemens Charger. I want something like that in 3-rail. And unfortunately, nobody I know has made a 3-rail. The other one I wouldn't mind getting is I would like a New York Central luxury liner, the ones that were black with the gray stripe through the windows and silver lettering that says New York Central. Those are just gorgeous. Ever since I saw the coaches at a train show, I have wanted to buy a set of coaches. And Märklin does make a black F7 locomotive for the New York Central. They just never made the coaches that I'm aware of. I certainly haven't seen it anytime. But I can get them from Lima or Athard. I just want a cheap set. I don't want the really fancy all light up one. But so those would be my next 2 American train buys. If I'm going to get American trains, it's that New York Central and something very modern. Yeah, New York Central. I mean, to be honest, so did Pennsylvania Railroad. The PRR has a lot of gorgeous stuff. That's the problem with that. It doesn't have the... Slow down, Tex. Slow down. I've cut him down to 10 kilo. Yeah, I need to go in on the decoder and adjust the speed. I accidentally adjusted that camera too far over. So now you can't see the guys on the floor. But one of the sad things is there were trains I would have bought, but I didn't at the time because I was holding out for other trains that I might find. And so I kind of regret. Oh man, that just cannot explain how gorgeous those coaches are. Is there a camera where I can, let's see, let's do up the ramp, catch it up the ramp. I need to get a 241. This little 231 is not quite powerful enough. These are heavy coaches, and it only has the one ski on the one. It only has one ski on the one baggage to pick up to light up the. But oh my goodness, these coaches are gorgeous. And this little guy, if it were a flat layout, it would do just fine, but it definitely is struggling pulling these guys. I figured I'd do about an hour and a half with him and then change locomotives. But oh, isn't that, I really brought home some gorgeous trains. The Orient Express, the Thalys there. Hey, Sir Aaron from Aaronville. Yeah, one ski, and of course you have to adjust the wiring as well. But yeah, just one ski, because I will eventually, it might be 2 years before I get to it, but I'll do it with this guy here and light up those other three cars and just have it all as one ski. And then current conducting couplers, because I've got 40 or 50 current conducting couplers. But man, that's a gorgeous train. I love that one. These Danish cars just really have tickled my fancy. I bought them with a particular reason, said those will look good for Christmas. And then when I put it all together on the layout to do that video, my eyes just started popping like, oh, wow, this is a gorgeous train, period. Forget that it's a Christmas train. It is just a beautiful train. Whoops, wrong way. But I'll probably change this loco out for something a little more powerful in a bit. Yeah, I've been, and to be honest, I've been looking online. The only 241 I could find, they wanted $1,000 for it plus $80 shipping. And I'm just not going to pay $1,000 for a locomotive. It was that special one that they released a little while ago. Hey, Ray, in terms of converting a DC locomotive to AC, it's just a little bit of changing the wires. Now, and with digital, it's even easier, but you still have to just change a couple of wires and, you know, instead of picking up on both sides, you're going to pick up from the middle and then from both sides. I mean, technically you could pick up from one side, but you might as well pick up from both. And you just join those together, and then the red to the other side, you know, from the pickup to the other side. I say red because on most of my Märklin and even Pico and Roco stock, the wire from the shoe is a red wire. Now, in old stuff, that's not the case. It's black or brown. But most of the new stock, it's a red wire. The biggest problem with converting a loco from 2-rail to 3-rail is where to put the shoe, because many bogies and trucks don't have room to put the shoe, because not only do you have to be able to fit the shoe in, but you have to, I mean, you can jerry rig, but you don't want the shoe, which is a metal piece, connecting to a metal underframe. You'd have to put a dead thing in there, like a thin piece of rubber or something like that, to prevent the contact, but you still have to have a contact plate for the pickup and run the wire up and through. So the electrical work is not that hard. It's the mechanical side that is a challenge. It is a mechanical challenge to convert that. Let me give you a quick example. Whew. All right, here is a French 241, a gorgeous Joef model 241 I picked up from Herb's collection. Now, if this were powered in the loco instead of the tender, you would have to put the ski somewhere on here. But if you look, this is a metal plate all the way through. And do I have a ski out? Because every now and then I'll have a ski sitting around here. But it's all metal here. And when you look at the depth to put the ski in there, because the ski has to be able to collapse, there really is no good place or way to put the pickup shoe, the ski, on here. However, this is tender driven. Now, other tenders would have trucks, just like you saw there, full metal frame. But this one has Joef. If you look there, there is a hole and a socket to specifically fit a Märklin 3rd rail ski. So even though this is 2-rail, it's pre-designed, because Joef did make things for Märklin. So it's preset to make into 3-rail. So originally I was going to maybe eventually move this on, but then as I looked at the tender, no, this can be converted to 3-rail. It is already designed to accept, and I've already test fitted. I know which Märklin ski, because there's a lot of them, but I've got like 5 different varieties here, and one of them fits in that space perfectly, which means it was designed, or this was designed with that shoe in mind, that pickup shoe. I always call it the ski. So to the purists out there who hate my vernacular, I can't help it. It looks more like a ski than a shoe. So yeah, this is going to eventually get converted to 3-rail. I'll probably put in a 5-pole motor in it too to make it more powerful. But that's way down the line when I feel more comfortable doing that. I'm going to experiment on a couple of other locos with changing motors and putting it in a decoder before I mess with that guy. The Swiss AE36. I really, I know I'm not, or I definitely am not a rivet counter, but in some ways I can be. I'm a bit of a purist. I would want a French loco, not a Swiss, but a French loco pulling this Orient Express. Now, I know the Simplon had different routes, and in some cases, the last Simplon Orient Express to run, which ended in 2007. Now, don't start typing in. It's still running. Let me explain. The original company folded in 2007. And their last line was Paris to Strasbourg, or Strasbourg to Vienna. And that was the last Simplon Orient Express, and it wasn't even going through the Simplon Pass anymore. But it was like Strasbourg to Vienna, and that was it. The company went defunct. Now, other companies began buying the rights to use the name Orient Express, and they began buying up old Orient Express and other Pullman coaches and painting them up and began calling themselves Orient Express. But there is a company that owns the name to Orient Express. So there are trains running right now calling themselves Orient Express that aren't officially Orient Express, and they're definitely not the main company. But there are train lines calling themselves the Orient Express, but an American investor picked up one of the companies, and he ran it until 2025. Now, supposedly, late this year, an official Orient Express by the people who own the rights to the name Orient Express is going to be reestablished as a luxury train. There are trains running right now calling themselves the Orient Express, and why they don't get sued, mostly it's because they license the name. So there are lines out there that call themselves Orient Express, luxury lines, and you can go from Paris to Warsaw and wherever to wherever. But the original Orient Express ended operations in 2007. The name carries on, but the actual company and its lines ended in 2007. And even in 2007, the only line they officially ran was Paris to Vienna or Strasbourg to Vienna. That was the last one. Uh-oh, I just froze up. Okay, we're good. Hey, Sir Craig, how are you? Yes, Belmont Hotels. Thank you, EFO. That was the company. Belmont still runs a VSOE, but they're not the ones who own the actual rights to the original company, Orient Express. But they run an Orient Express currently. That's the company that's still running it. So I'm gonna just bide my time and try to find a 3-rail 241 that's strong enough to pull these cars, because the guy I've got pulling it is struggling a bit up the incline. In fact, he just stalled on the incline here behind me. Oh, right where I can't reach you. Come on, fella. Oh, he does not want to go. All right, well, I'm going to go get him and change him out. Whoops. I should have done this in stop mode, but I thought I could do it not in stop mode. Sorry about that, guys. I thought I could get away with this without having to stop everything, but I was wrong. Let's see if this 03 can handle it better. Otherwise, to be honest, either the 01 or the 012 that's currently pulling that other things I think could handle this. Well, a little sooner than I planned. I did plan on changing it out. All right, so cleared. And then I just need to Let's see if the 03 can handle this a little better. No, he's going to struggle with it. Huh. These are heavy cars. Very heavy cars. Huh. Who do I put with it? I might have to change a couple of locos. Well, hello, Sir Miller Watson. Book for your trip to Prague. I would like to go back to Prague and spend more time in the area, but oh, there he seems to be getting his going. He started off slow, but now that he's got his rhythm going, how are you going to handle up the incline? Yeah, pretty decent. Definitely a slowdown, but in some ways that's realistic. I might be running one loco an hour just to avoid these guys getting overworked and overheated. Well, the problem is the real trains aren't a problem. It's the models. This is an old, well, it's not that old, but it's a Märklin 231, French 231 from the 80s and 90s at a time when Märklin quality was kind of going down a bit. And they're not as strong as later Märklins and earlier Märklins. Like if I could probably pull one of my Class 18s and have it chugging away. Maybe I should go get that old green 18. If this 03 starts to struggle, I'm going to put that Bavarian 18 on it. But right now, it seems to be doing all right. We'll see if it's still doing that in half an hour. Hey, Sir Robert, Sir Bob. Great to have you here. 37s are very, very powerful locomotives. I've got a bunch of German 218s, which are very powerful. And the models are strong too. But anyhow, let's go around. Let's see what's happening in other parts of the layout. The Thalys is flying around, looking good. Maybe a little too fast, but sometimes I find speed solves some of the problems when they don't like curves for some reason. Not like slot cars where the faster you go, the worse the curve is. Yes, I actually came across that news myself while I was doing some reading up on the Orient Express the other day, because I figured the topic of the Orient Express would come up and the proper, so I wanted to get a little more informed. Unfortunately, I can't remember everything. Uh-oh, somebody's pinging me. Oh, line 6 died. John, you can just type that in chat. You don't have to ping me. Probably faster if you just type it in. I'll see it in chat before I catch my phone. Yeah, I slowed line 6 way down. So he was flying a little too fast. So now I think he's... he's a little... That's the one thing about the 60906 decoder is they don't really have great speed settings. They just have so much power. And so if you put it in a small locomotive, they fly fast. So it's not speed accurate according to, because like right now he's running at about What does it say? According to this, he's running at 20 kilometers an hour. That's not 20 kilometers an hour. Yeah, Raymond, they are. But I think anybody who's been around trains, I mean, that was another side benefit of our trip this year. Because of all the train delays, Joyce and I got to stand on platforms a lot longer than we wanted to. And we were able to do a little bit of train spotting. The problem is when you saw a cool train, by the time you got the camera out, another train came in and blocked the view. So you'll notice I posted a couple of videos just because I saw very unique trains. I saw some very unique ones, and I was excited, like the IC3, the Europa. It's an IC3 called, its name is the Europa, but it's got the blue stripe in it. We saw that. I saw a Ludmilla, but by the time I could get my phone, and then I've been having problems where Google makes me sign into everything, even when it's something I don't need Google for, like my camera on my phone. You need to sign in. And by the time you go through all the crap of signing in on Google, you missed it. Now, I've gone through and deleted a bunch of stuff, and I'm not having to do that now. I finally found out why Google was making me do all this. But I did miss some cool trains. Like I said, I saw two Ludmillas next to each other with a 221, and they were just on a siding. It wasn't like it was a rail museum. It was just on a siding outside the town of Erfurt. And they had all kinds of old Deutsche Reichsbahn, GDR, double-decker cars and that in just absolute abysmal shape, just sitting over there. So it was obviously where they're putting together some trains, and also where they just, what do we do with this? Just throw it on that one siding over there. But the Ludmillas looked like they still ran. But saw some 216s and 215s, which I found interesting. And then locomotives I didn't recognize. And unfortunately, I didn't get video or pictures of a tenth of the new things that were new to me for the first time. Seeing a Ludmilla, I saw for about 4 seconds while fumbling to get my camera out. And then I missed the rest of it fumbling with my camera. But wow, Joyce was, because Joyce sits closer to the window. I was like, Joyce, look, and almost smack her in the nose with my arm. It's a Ludmilla. And Joyce is like, what? That old locomotive there. Hang on. Got to get the video camera. Got to sign in. Oh, wait, now it wants me to sign into this. Missed. Oh, my God. All right, Lee, take care. No, normally the July 4th weekend for us is the whole family gets together because we just do one day. So it's July 4th. But my daughter's birthday is the 6th of July, and my son's birthday is the 7th of July. And we do that. But my son's not coming up for the 4th this year. He's got work things and other issues. And then he's coming up. There's a big family reunion, so he decided to come up for that instead of coming up for the 4th and his birthday. It's on my wife's side of the family. I personally could. It's a distant reunion. I don't know why they're doing this. They're all descendants of this one person. And it's like, yeah, but all the people who knew each other are gone. Everybody's going to show up at this reunion. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? You stupid. Rats. Oops. Thank God I got a towel here. At least I had a towel here. Sorry, my drink just broke. An ice cube shot the straw out the side, and so it's spewing drink everywhere. And this is why you don't use styrofoam cups. Canada is July 1st. I could not remember if it was July 1st or July 2nd. Not Canadian. But yes, happy Canada Day. Belated happy Canada Day to everybody there. But yeah, our holiday is just going to be we're just going to have everybody over to grill on Sunday. Now we've had we did come home to a small tragedy in the family. Kyan's other grandfather, my son-in-law's father, passed away. And it's very hard because Kyan didn't get to see Grandpa Ken a lot because Grandpa Ken lived in Florida and did not come up here very much. And Lynn and Chris and Kyan, it's kind of hard to take a kid, and they didn't go down there. I've only met Ken about 4 times. Nice guy, wonderful guy, but he has been off and on sick, and unfortunately, he had probably been dead a little while before they discovered he had died because he lived alone. And so the family, Kyan lost his other grandpa. Now, he has had it explained that Grandpa Ken has passed away, but how much that truly sets into the mind of a 5-year-old. Anyhow, Aaronville, you asked this question. The VR tour is, you can't explain it, but it does involve being on the miniature Wonderland, and they have different types, and the long one really takes you. But the funny thing is, the VR world is actually cartoon. It's cartoon animation of the actual layout, areas of the layout. For example, in one scene, you're on a train in the American, Badlands, the mountains there. But it's doing a James Bond scene. There's a James Bond character fighting somebody on top of the train, and then the villain turns on you, and you're trying to avoid the villain and avoiding getting your head bashed off by the water towers and everything that are passing by, tunnels and so forth. But I found it, and absolutely, I think I talked about it in that one live stream that night. I started doing an experiment because it's how I am. I like understanding how the brain works. I have what I call the conscious mind and the primal mind. And I started having fun with my conscious mind, trying to tell my primal mind, that's not real. We don't need to duck. We're not going to hit that tunnel. We don't need to duck. And I'm like, we're not going to duck. We're not going to duck. But then as you get there, the primal mind says, bullshit, we're ducking. And you duck. Because the primal mind is, I know what I see, and I see a tunnel wall that's going to bash our head in. We're ducking. But you do this bit where you paint HO figures. It's like Prizer and Nolk figures unpainted. And you have to grab a paintbrush, and you have these little hand controllers that act like hands so you can grab and manipulate things. So you grab the paintbrush and you're painting the characters. And then as soon as you finish painting them, they come to life and they start moving and dancing and doing things. It was epically wild. I don't know, it probably was. Well, welcome, BNSF CSX Bob. And you are not knighted, so we shall knight you. Welcome in, Bob. And I declare you a knight of the Rhomboid Table. All right, Bob, you have now been knighted as a member of the Rhomboid Table, a knight of the Rhomboid Table. You can now post links to your channel. And please don't play humble like I don't advertise my channel. If you have stuff on your channel and you want to let us take a view of it, just copy the link from your channel or even the @ symbol from your channel. post it into here, and we can all take a look at it. If you don't have stuff, we'll go see what's there anyhow. Well, the funny thing is, Andy, everybody is in there, even if you're going together through the VR world. Let's change cameras here. Even if you're together, like Joyce Simon and I were, you each start your tour a few seconds apart. So even if you're standing next to each other, you're experiencing slightly different things. So like there's a point where I'm standing right next to Joyce and Simon. I think Simon went first. So he is on an air balloon going up. Joyce is just getting on the balloon, and I'm waiting for the balloon to arrive, even though we are standing shoulder to shoulder. But at one point, we're all in our own hot air balloon rising up. Now, you can lift your goggles and look, you're not moving. How they create that sensation that you are rising, because you feel it. You feel the gravity. You feel you're going up, even though your conscious brain is telling you, guys, we're on one giant concrete slab. So there's some sort of nerve induction thing between the goggles and everything you're doing and signals it sends to the brain or whatever. But it's amazing. It was so cool. Hey, Sir Jeff and Sir Alan Reynolds and Sir Josh Cannon. Welcome in, guys. Yeah, I'm staying cool because I'm in air conditioning. So my trains are not feeling the heat. They're just enjoying, if you can call it enjoying, the 3-hour tour they're being forced to do. Hey, well, thank you for that, CSX Bob. Yeah, it was, unfortunately, so often these things are scheduled where Joyce and I either can't go or they're always at an awkward time for us. So, like, we had just gotten back from Germany Friday night. And if it had been Saturday, that's why we weren't in Marion. We just were not up to the 2.5-hour, 3-hour drive to Marion, Ohio. We just were not up to it. Sunday, we probably still weren't up to a long drive. Unfortunately, it's only about 50 minutes from Toledo down to Deschler. But I really wanted to go. So we got up early and we came down. But we can't stay long because Sunday is our family day. Every Sunday, our local kids, we all have dinner. It's just something that we've kept as a family tradition. And as long as people aren't working, or like my son who now lives down in Columbus, so they're 2.5 hours away. He's on the south side of Columbus, outside of Columbus. We only see my son once every couple of months. Joyce and I are trying to go down there once a month to visit him. And then, try to increase the frequency because usually we're lazy and make him drive up here. And he doesn't like driving all the way up here. My son does not like driving. Oh, the heat index is the thing to watch, Raymond. Because like I said, yesterday here in Toledo, we had a heat index of 107. And I think that's the hottest it's ever been in June for a heat index. The temperature only got up to, I think, 100 on the nose, but the heat index was like 107. Well, there's Sir Chris from the Valleys. Hope you're well. But it's nice to meet those people, even with channels that we're not necessarily familiar with. It's fellow YouTubers. And again, Joyce and I are not rail fanners. And most of the people at YouTube are at this get-together are rail fanners. But we don't care. They're people we know from the chats and some people we don't know. But, like James from Frog and Flange is a great guy that we met up in Canada. So now we follow his channel. Brilliant videos. We subscribe to Bob, CSX Bob. Subscribe to his channel. And he's got some great stuff on that channel. And the thing is, for the last, again, as I keep saying, for the last several months or last several weeks, Joyce and I have not commented on anybody's videos because we haven't seen. And it's probably, I'm not going to go back to try to catch up. There's just so many people post every day. There's no way I can go back and catch up on a month's worth of videos. There are certain people I am making an exception and trying to go back and catch up on some stuff. All right, good night. Hi, thanks for hanging out with us. Yep, because Rick lives only about 20 minutes north of us, 25 minutes north of us, because he's in Monroe, just across the border. I mean, yeah, Darren, I don't want to be too flippant. I know you're just having a laugh. But yes, we have been at YouTube get-togethers, but also in the toy community and other hobbies I had along the way. Yeah, there are people you don't want to meet. And there are people who don't want to meet us. And that's fine. They're, you know, Joyce and I try to be very polite and likable, but we might have our mannerisms or behaviors that might annoy people. Joyce and I tend to be joined at the hip. We tend to, we're a tag team, and it's very rare that we're more than 10 feet apart especially when we go to these things. But after a while, Joyce is like, okay, Anthony, you know some of these guys, go. And Joyce will hang out and talk with the guys, because Joyce is a bit of a tomboy, but she will sit and yak with the wives too. But that was one of the things that annoyed her about the model train club we belong to, is that several of these people, several of the men were like, women don't belong at the table and talk trains. And Joyce would rather sit and talk trains than tea parties and cotillions that the wives at the club would talk about. She'd rather be at the table with me. And after a while, some of the guys started muttering, and finally one of the heads of the club said, Joyce should really go sit with the wives. I'm like, Joyce is here to talk trains. Just because you make your wives go. But by that time, we were already souring with the club, and it all happened very quickly when we finally decided we were done with the club. Now, I don't mess with fireworks anymore just because too many other people do. My brother-in-law, Keith, and I used to go out and buy a crap load of fireworks and shoot them off for the family at his house. But then he moved them on me, and we did it one time at his house in Maumee, and then we did it at my house when I was renting a house in Maumee, and the Maumee police are not friendly, and they shut this down now. Okay. Sorry, guys. Party over. Hey, Sir Andy 81. Well, we were in the UK twice. We spent 3 weeks in the UK in 2022. Actually, about 3.5 weeks in the UK in 2022. But that was before a lot of YouTubers knew us. We knew a few, and they met us at a couple of places. And then we went to Getz in 2024. We went to Getz in 2024. And I think you were traveling at that time because you couldn't come to Getz. So unfortunately, it's timing. Sometimes it's just bad luck timing. All right, good night, Miller. Thank you for popping in. We really appreciate it. Sir Miller Watson, great to always appreciative of all the people that come by. Because we're in the summer months, I never know how many people we're going to have in a live stream during the summer. It's possible. And Joyce and I loved Cardiff. We love Cardiff. To this day, I'm mad we didn't go over to Lord and Butler's. By the time we finally decided, let's go over to see what's at Lord and Butler's, there was only 2 more buses that ran out that way, and we weren't sure we were going to get back in time. It was getting late in the day. They were open till I think 6, and it was 4 o'clock, 4:30. So we were on the bay, so we would have had to walk and find the right bus stop, catch the right bus, and it just didn't feel like we had the time. I don't want to say it's a disappointment, but yeah, I mean, kind of wish we could have done that. Oh yeah, yeah. It's you know, we talk about it a lot. It's a recurring topic on the things that proper modelists do, rivet counters, and or that they do that. They, 1 minute they complain about people in the hobby, but then they do a lot of things that scare people away from the hobby, or at least scare people out of clubs. Yeah, Bob, the first 3 lines are all new trains, except for the loco. But like this one coming up, this is my new Orient Express. The loco I've had, but all these coaches coming around the corner here, those are new. I picked that up. That's an exquisite set from Märklin. And then this train coming up again, the loco is old, and this white and yellow train, that's brand new, including the loco. But those blue cars, those are all new. So the first 3 lines you see in the picture there are all new trains and 1 new loco. And then on this train, the last 2 short tankers are new, and 2 of the white tankers in the front were new. On the floor, let's see if I can get it. On the floor, that little red and silver train right there, the Thalys, that's new. I bought that in Germany. That's actually a Dutch train, although now it's owned by the French, a French company, same company that owns TGV. But that is the famous Thalys, so I picked that up for real cheap. And then let's see. Sadly, I don't really have great pictures to give you. Yeah, but that little guy there, the first 3 cars are lit. The last 3 cars are add-ons that don't have lights. But that train is new. And that was actually one of the things I went to buy in Germany. I was hoping to find it, and I did. That is called the Lufthansa Express. It ran in the 90s and early 2000s, the 80s, the 90s, early 2000s. And Raymond Legs and Evo can probably tell you more about it. But it was listed, it had various listings. Like to Lufthansa, it was listed as a flight. Even though it was a train, in Lufthansa, it was a flight. But this is a high-speed train that picked you up at the Frankfurt airport and then took you like to Stuttgart or Koblenz or other destinations straight from the airport. Well, thank you. The Orient Express is such a famous and classic luxury train, and I really need to get the right camera. This camera is too close, so you don't really see the cars. Let me try to bring it. Yeah, this one will be too close. I need to get an inside looking out camera. But maybe next time it comes around, I'll get it on the Deutsche Bahn camera because that's not quite as far. But they're just absolutely stunning coaches. Very high-end quality production. But if you're going to do the Orient Express, which was a luxury train, the coaches should be luxury. And based on the price, they better be luxury. Sadly, I paid a lot more for them now than when they first came out. Should have bought them then, but I couldn't afford them then. But now that they were like 70% more expensive, I can afford them. Go figure, just the way life changes. All right, Delmenhorst Low View. So there's 2 of the new trades. All right, let's catch it. Whoa, what did he hit? One of those cars just tilted on something. But yeah, the Orient Express. I need to get some people on those in those coaches. That's a beautiful train. Tom, the add-on number for the one is 42691. No, wrong one. Let's put it this way. I don't know because two of them are Fleischmann and the other one's a Märklin that came from Herb's collection and did not have boxes. I was confusing it with the ski train right there. Oh my God, every time I see the ski train, I'm falling more and more in love with it. Holy cow, that's a cool looking train. There you got everybody passing. But that's what my layout's about. It's all about trains. It's not about being prototypical scenery and trains. It's just how many trains could I get running? I got a four-way pass now. Down to 3. That's the problem. Line 1 is the hard. I should have put it in line 3 where you get better looks of it. But yeah, it needs people. Those coaches just look wrong, empty. But man, this ski train here. And again, if you're new to the channel and did not see the video I posted yesterday about this particular train that just went past, where's the best shot to see it? It's coming around. All right, Raymond Bonhoff. This train here, this is a Danish train that ran in the 90s. And unfortunately, it's not bright enough there to really see it. Wrong. There we go. But the first car has the moon and stars. The second car has firework explosions. And then the other 4 cars have snowflakes. And this was a train that Danish skiers who wanted to go skiing in the Alps, it would run from Copenhagen to the Alps. I don't know all the different stops. And Jean Ricard, if he's alert, he might know more information. Maybe EFO might know about this train more. But it ran. I seem to recall reading it ran like 3 times a week, and something else tells me it ran like on the weekends only. But it ran from Copenhagen down to southern Germany, Switzerland, Austria. And so skiers would just get on this train. There were compartments where they would sleep and sit. So it's like a night train as well. And they would just go from Copenhagen to the south and hit the slopes because Denmark, like Toledo, is very flat. The only hills in Denmark are when people lay down to sunbathe or sleep. Yeah, Raymond, there's a lot of companies made the Lufthansa Express, but again, and I've seen plenty of the Limas, but they're all 2-rail. I'm sure Lima maybe made a 3-rail, but I've never seen it. I was going to buy the first 3-rail. I was holding out for one that was pulled by a Class 103, but the couple of times I saw them, people wanted a fortune. They wanted $700, $800, $900 for the old Märklin that had the 103 on it. The 111s were cheaper, but even then, I would bid on them on eBay when they came up. The numbers 2666. and 2667. 2666 was the 111. 2667 was the 103. And then you had the early digital versions, which were 2866 and 2867. Those had those early 4-pin switch, dip switch decoders. Those early 4-pin ones. So anytime I tried to bid on them, they would go. I was trying to hold myself to a limit of about $200, and these things I'd start bidding at 50 or 100, and they would go for $275, $300, and I just could not, especially when I was doing it heavily. And I tried to buy one back around Christmas time, and that one went for $305. Another one I was bidding on went for $410. So when this was on the shelf for 200 euros, it was a no-brainer. It was coming home. It was not. Yeah, I'm curious to see all the changes Andy's making on that awesome layout. Yeah, and the funny thing is, I love my high-speed rails. I love the rail cars. I think the 403s look cool, but they're not the ones I wanted. I wanted the coaches. And again, that's probably because of what I inherited from Herb. Although I wanted the Lufthansa Express before that, I always wanted the coaches and the loco and not the rail car. Don't ask me why. It's just one of those weird things that gets in your head. There you get to see a lot of trains. But man, I tell you, I have fallen in love with this Danish snow train. It was used in box, but used gingerly. It had definitely been run, but probably not a lot, because everything the shop I bought it at was secondhand. They had a minimal new supply, but their secondhand stuff was amazing. They had actually, I shouldn't say that. They had a lot of new stuff, but they had a large secondhand. In fact, I would say 2/3 to 3/4 of their stock was secondhand. And I found that amazing for a large toy store. And this was a large toy store that they had such a large secondhand. I'm not used to big toy stores doing secondhand. Usually it's the mom and pop train shop. But Bruning started as a mom and pop train shop and grew into a toy store because they sell models and they sell toys and school supplies, because you have to broaden in a lot of places. It's hard for a shop to just sell trains. Yeah, agreed, Efo. There are some. I mean, Märklin did release a 241 a couple of years ago that did pull one of the routes. It wasn't the main route. It wasn't the Paris to Istanbul route. But it did pull the Strasbourg to Vienna and the Paris to Vienna route. But if I can get something, a good French 241, I'll be happy with that. I'm not going to worry if it's 100% prototype true. Ski train ran from 89 until 2009, every winter to Saint Anton from Copenhagen. Oh, I understand that, Andy. I understand that. I will stare at something for days before I start the project. I got a bathroom to build, and I spent days 2 years ago staring at it, and then Joyce and I would change our minds about a couple of things, and then you got to re-stare at it. Oh, but I do that. I stare heavily at something and just work it in my head, trying to guess where the problem areas are going to be, what's going to fit, what's not going to fit. And I do that with every project, whether it's home construction, model building. Australia versus Egypt, go to penalty shootout. That's a tough game for me to root for because I love Australia, but my favorite player in the world, Mo Salah, plays for Egypt. I'm so crushed that he's leaving Liverpool, that he has left Liverpool. They've already said goodbye to him. He's gone, and that's so depressing. I love Mo Salah. But it was a hard year in Liverpool. I don't know if the death of Diego Jota affected the team this past season, but Liverpool just never looked like they wanted to play football this year. They just never seemed to turn it on. I would be watching the game, except, well, I had this live stream to do. If Klopp wants the job as Germany's head coach, he probably gets it. He's had too much success, but he has been offered the job before, and he turned it down. So I don't know if he has a thing that he doesn't want to coach the national team, but I think if he won the job, because the guy they had now has been a clown. Germany, to be honest, all of Northwest Europe looked like crap. Netherlands played like crap. Germany played like crap. Belgium played like crap, except for the last 10 minutes when they came from behind and beat Senegal, and they didn't deserve to win that game, but they woke up and played. But, yeah, Germany did not look like the German teams of the last 40, 50 years. These guys they stood around on the pitch and just watched. Oh, look, you're making a move. Maybe I should do something to open something up for you. No, I'm just going to stand here and watch you do this. And it was just stand around and pass the ball back and forth in the back. You've got to go forward sometime. You got to push it. And this is why some of these smaller teams, I mean, Portugal had their hands full with Croatia. And to be honest, if that referee were a little less biased in favor of Portugal, Croatia might have won that game, because there were a couple of controversial calls where he kind of screwed Croatia. But Croatia attacked, and Portugal attacked too, which why it was such a good game. But Germany they looked uninspired, and I don't know if it was an ego thing, like, oh, we can turn this on anytime we want and we will win this game, and they never turned it on. They looked pathetic. They just looked uninspired, and this is their third straight really bad exit since they won the World Cup in 2014 or whatever it was. Yeah, 2014. They have just looked pathetic. 18, 22, and 26. They have just looked like garbage. And somebody needs to come in and crack a whip on the system and the players, because that was pathetic. Hey, Sir Kieran, how are you? Apparently Joyce is, even though she's home and I don't have to wait for her to come to work, and she was late so many times before the end of the year, she's not going to put in early time. She's not going to come down early. Now, she did just get home from grocery shopping, so she's probably putting groceries away. Oh, yeah, I agree. I think the officiating in this World Cup has been the worst officiating, and that's saying something, because the officiating is always bad. The United States had a controversial red call the other night that was completely a bad call. Yes, when you slow it down in slow motion and focus on it, you can say, well, technically it was a dangerous play and could have caused serious injury, therefore red card. No, at the height, the attack came in from a proper angle. He hit the ball, and on the follow through, he did catch the guy's ankle. But by technical rule, that shouldn't have been a red card. But because now with VAR, they can slow it down and look at, well, right here, you can see where a spikes are in the guy's ankle and the ankles twist. At full speed, it was a clean play. Yes, it was dangerous. Yes, the guy could have been hurt, but it wasn't a malicious, dangerous play, which what a red card should be called for. That was, he came in from a proper angle and he gets red carded, and still the United States held on and won. They're playing some decent football, the U.S. I don't expect them to get past Belgium, but if Belgium plays as crappy as they did their last game and the game before that, then the United States could beat Belgium. Hey, Curly, how are you? Yeah, England had to wake up at the last second. But the problem with England is pretty much everything's about Harry Kane, and Kane basically just stands in the box and waits till somebody fouls him, and somebody gets called for a penalty, and he gets to kick the penalty. But he did have a beautiful play. That both goals he scored were great plays, but one, I still think England was offsides. He got away with a couple of things there. But I have never been a Harry Kane fan. I think he's so heavily overrated. I swear half his goals are just some ref is like, hey, it's Harry Kane. Penalty. Hey, which Simon do we have now? There's the other Sir Simon of our three Sir Simons. I'm a huge football fan, and I do get into the World Cup. And I root for Germany. I root for England. I root for all the German countries. I root for Germany. I root for the Netherlands. I root for Denmark if they're in it. I was rooting for Scandinavia. And I do root for the American team. I just most years have no hope for the American team because our system is a pay-to-play system. And we don't pick the best American players. We pick the players that the corporate sponsors have invested the most money in. And because our women's team has had so much success, now the sponsors have been attacking the women's team, and the women's team has seen a drop because the sponsors pressure the United States Olympic Committee and National Soccer Team committees. We're paying this guy $20 million. We're not paying him $20 million to sit the bench. You get him on the pitch. And, you know, having looked at even the American system for the men's team back in the 70s when I played soccer, it's pay to play. And each dude has an ego, and they're the best player in their league. They're the best player in their division. They're the best player at certain levels. And so by the time they get to the national team, everything for 10, 15 years has been about them. The travel leagues, everything, it's always been about them. And then all of a sudden you got to be on a team where you have to share, and they can't do it. America could win a World Cup if we played our best 20-man team. And if they learned to play as a team. That's why Brazil, Germany, Argentina are so dominant, because they get coaches that will kick these guys' egos in the butt and say, this is about the team. And the stars still have their moments. Messi still is Messi. But Messi passes as much as he scores. He sets up as many goals as he scores because it is about the team doing it, and every guy has his part. And in the United States, for years, it's always been, it's all about me. You would see guys do that. They have the ball. They've got three guys open to pass to, but I'm going to drive 1-on-4 defenders and lose control of the ball because I'm going to be the superstar and score the goal that wins the World Cup for America. And the American system has needed a drastic overhaul in a lot of things, but with the World Cup soccer. Man, there goes that train. I'm now I was very uptight about this live stream, hoping everything ran. I knew this French loco was not going to last the whole show because in test runs it was struggling. I probably let it go a little too long. I let it go an hour instead of, maybe I should have just done it 45 minutes. But it definitely kind of gave out up here. It's just like, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. Yeah, there's a lot of people that aren't football fans because the way the fans act. And I get that. I just love the sport. I played it. And I played it in the 70s at a time where kids that played soccer were sissies, as the term was used against us. I played football too. Yeah, it's and I think Germany kind of has that problem now that so many of these players get catered to from such a young age now, and they do think it's about them. But what frustrated me with Germany watching the two games I was able to watch was how much standing around Germany did. I've never seen German teams just stand around and watch the game, especially when a guy was making a move. You go back 12 years when Schweinsteiger was doing this, and Tony Kroos was doing this, Müller was doing this. Everybody moved. When somebody started to make a move, everybody made their move. In this tournament and the tournament 4 years ago, somebody starts to make a move for Germany, and the other guys are like, why should I move? And Joyce and I are just screaming, put the ball in the middle. And the little teams that nobody expects to get as far as they've gotten, they're doing that. They're attacking and they're kicking the ball into the middle and hoping some good happens. And their guys are diving and making it happen. And that's why they've won. And some of the big names have left. France attacks. France comes to cut your throat. Portugal, they attack. But Germany sat back. The Netherlands sat back on their butts and just let the other team do what they wanted. So, yeah, it's and that's what I liked about the American game the other night was America was aggressive. America attacked. And that's very rare to see. The last time America really attacked like that was 94 and 98 when they had a really talented team that I thought might get to the Final Four. But egos got in the way of that. Or Alexi Lalas in 98, who now does Fox Sports soccer stuff. To this day, I hate Alexi Lalas. And anytime he starts to talk, I just sit at the table and mutter, 5-0, 5-0, or 5-0, 5-0. Because the U.S. had a great team in 98 that many people thought could challenge to get to the Final Four. And it was a great team. But they had a bad draw. So they had to draw against Iran. They just had to win, tie 1-1, 0-0, 2-2, or win the game. And Iran was not that great a team. But it's 1998. It's 18 years after the famous Iranian embassy bit. And this is the first time that the United States and Iran have played in any international competition since then. And the Iranians were fired up. They were, to America, to America, to America. And they did an interview with Alexi Lalas, and they were talking about how the Iranians were all fired up because this is America, the country that their government has preached hatred towards and blah, 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 the old Khomeini and so forth. And Alexi Lalas, California laid back, was just like, oh, man, we're not into that kind of patriotic political motivation, stuff like that, man. If you need that to play football, then... and his attitude... No, you're playing for your country. That's the one time to get that attitude, to say, we got to beat these guys. And if you need, and that little motivation, like, hey, we're going to show these guys for what they did politically 18 years ago. You use that. Every good coach uses that. And he's just like, nah, And he by himself gave up 3 goals when the United States lost 5-0 to Iran, a team they should have beaten 5-0. They lost 5-0 because they all seemed to just be, oh man, we don't have to work hard to beat this team, and we're not into all that wave the flag and blah, blah, blah stuff. And he's a conservative, so why aren't you into waving the flag? But yeah, just spoiled, coddled dude. And I've never forgiven him for that because he played such a lousy game and we lost 5-0. And a team that really had a chance to compete for a World Cup went home early because that attitude. When you play for your country, you play for your country. You don't play for a political party. And you use every motivation you can have to get fired up. If you're playing England, man, we're not forgiving you for burning Washington. I'll be friends with you after the game, but during the game, you burned Washington, D.C. 200 years ago. I'm coming after you. You know, you use that hate as a great motivator. Egypt wins on penalties. There you go. But yeah, I played American football until I got into American high school. And then I was kicked off the team because even though my doctor signed off, apparently my doctor was not up on modern health things. I have 1 kidney, and I had played 4 games on my freshman football team, first-year football team. And they came, my coaches called me in one day and said, Dodge, we've been going over your medical records. Is it true you only have 1 kidney? Yes. You can't play football. Why not? The doctor said I can't. Dude, you have 1 kidney. If you take a shot in the back and it affects your kidney, you don't have a backup. And that was it. I wasn't allowed to play. Went to a meet. Hey, my man Pedro. Sir Pedro, how are you? Oh, I coached various sports for years. And successfully. Although the most fun I had was a team that never won a game. It was my daughter's 3rd grade softball team. They didn't win a game that year, but I had so much fun coaching because these were kids that nobody wanted, and we tried to do a Bad News Bears, but unlike the Bad News Bears, we didn't make it anywhere. We were 0-16 that season, but those kids had fun. They learned how to play softball. They learned a lot of things. And yes, it sucked losing every game. And the next year we broke 500. And then 2 years later, when I had stopped coaching that group, they went to a championship. All right, Evo, good night. Take care. That little guy is starting to pick up and fly around again, but I think I'll just let him go. He's happy. That little shunter is happy, going fast. It says he's only doing 20 kilometers an hour, but he's doing about 80. Vroom. You had fun in London. That's good. I can't wait to get back to the UK. As time's going by here, I'm having a little bit of, I really don't want to go to Australia in October that we're planning. Next October, not this October, but next year October. So we'll either go to Australia again in June, or I may just keep switching things around because I got to make up for the UK trip that we had to cancel when we went to Germany. So everything's discombobulated. Hello, Sir Anthony Borden. That is a potentially valid observation, Anthony Borden. I'm just not going to invite I'm not going to say anything to invite something proving me wrong. I would love to see Gdansk. Yeah, the problem is, Simon, I don't have a camera that really highlights them. I shouldn't have put I put them in line 1 because that's the line of honor. It's the outermost. It's the one you're never going to have it cut off. But all my cameras are too close to it. I got to find a camera where usually they're going out of vision cameras. See, if this were on line 3, it would be brighter in the lights and you would see those coaches better. And from the distance, it's a tight angle, so you still can't see them. That one's not bad, but they're going so fast in front of the camera. I suppose I could slow it down. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to slow you way down. We're going to slow you way down. All right, here we go. Chug, 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 chug. Chug, 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 chug. I'm probably doing the wrong type of sound. But at least here you can see these guys. You can really see these coaches, or at least the best you're going to see them. These are exquisite coaches, and they are solid. The only really fragile is the little rail across the top. You can see a couple of them are kind of bent after being in the box. All right, speed up, fellas. Thank you. Well, history was a love of mine. I did teach a little history, although I mostly taught English and then German and mythology. Oh, quick. Where do we want bridge view? There he's flying up the back, but now you can't see him flying up the back because that gorgeous Danish. So it's not a loss. So you got to see that gorgeous Danish winter train. Yeah, well, Steve, the best museums are like that. They make you feel it. I've seen the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C., which is powerful. But the Holocaust Memorial in Berlin breaks your heart. And they don't have one piece of barbed wire, not one mannequin with a striped prison outfit with the yellow star. But the way it's set up, typical German psychiatry, it just beats your soul up. I went through that thing every year from 2003 to 2016. So that's, 14 times. Actually, I should say that because it had opened our first year. Yeah. It just beats you up. It's so subtle in design, it beats you up. First of all, you start with the large outside area, which is just a bunch of concrete rectangular cubes, all of different heights. And then you're told each one of those cubes represents one of the mass graves. And all they are is a concrete block, but then you realize that they're standard grave width. So this particular one represents Sorbidor. This one represents this place in Lithuania. This one represents this place in France. This one, anywhere where there were mass shootings. but it just, then you go in and you get a methodical wall history of Nazism and the rise of the Holocaust. And then you just go room to room, and each room sets you up for the next room to pound you. And I took high school students in there that had learned about the Holocaust in school. And by the time they left the last room and we go outside, boys and girls, they are in tears. Some of them are angry. I remember a couple of my students, Brandon Bialy, Andrew Haw, several others. They were angry, fist clenched, stomping. They wanted to hit somebody for what was done. They were just so angry. How, my students would say that. How could humans do this to other people? It's like, unfortunately, some humans are like that. And it's not just one country did it to one group of people. It's happening today around the world, closer to you than you think. And that's the problem. But, American museums are about manipulation. Touch it, feel it, look at this. The German museums like this one are about the brain. Get into your brain. And the thing is, after we took our students through that, there was an ice cream shop half a block away, and we'd always take them and try to cheer their moods up. And Joyce and I would buy them all ice cream. But we wanted the message to sink in. And, I think in the vast majority of my students, it did sink in. That's true, Bob. But genocide in many places, some in Africa, some on this continent. But we never want to get, and we're bordering on politics, so we don't want to go there. But you never want to dismiss one genocide because it wasn't as big as that genocide there. Stalin once said, one death is a tragedy, a million deaths is a statistic. And unfortunately, too many humans take that. All deaths are a tragedy. All unnecessary deaths are a tragedy. But no country should be pointing a finger at another country saying, you guys have done bad. We're good. No, we've all done it or are currently doing it. Anthony Borden, I can't tell you. I've never owned an REE model. I will say friends of mine that own them, love them, but at the same time say they occasionally need upgrades on some of their stuff. Like my friend Jim bought one and then he replaced the motors because he felt the motors weren't strong enough. But anyhow, we have a special guest visitor here every week. So let's get to it. Hey, baby cakes. Yes. Da, 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 da. Oh, that's got you about middle. There you go. And there's Sir Rick again. What's that? Oh, you need the mic. Here, have a mic.
Oh, that's stuff.
Yeah, Cayenne. Oh my God. I told him not to do this. Here.
He's busy doing it. Last time. Hey, hi, everybody. So, hi, Tom. Couples and Tom Houston.
We had several times.
Hi there, Rick. Hi, Simon. Train model Lily. Excuse me. Hey there, Ray. Hi, Chris. Dino. Hi there, Bob. It was great to see you, too. Hi, Steve. Hi, Karen.
Come on, admit it, Joyce. That's a Toledo, and you cannot say hi, Steve, and not giggle.
Indeed.
Hi, Steve.
Hello there, Bell Curvy Scott. Hi there, Sean.
Indeed, Steve. What
Hey,
happened
Randall.
in Poland to the Polish people, the entire population. But let's not kid ourselves. The Russians
Hey
came
there,
in,
Andy.
and the first thing the Russians did was they killed pretty much every officer of the Polish army that the Germans left alive, including all the ones they captured when they invaded Poland and took the eastern half, and killed a lot of liberals, anybody else that they thought might oppose Russian authoritarian rule.
Oh, such flattery, Bob. YouTube super couple.
We're a YouTube super couple.
Here we are.
Could call us worse.
That's true. Indeed.
I think of us as a super couple just between us. To the rest of the world, who cares? You know.
Yeah, all right. So there we are. Hi, Josh Cannon. Not to wobble too much.
But yeah, that French 231 that I told you, yeah, it didn't survive the show. It
Okay.
gave out up here.
Yeah,
I think
know
it just
you were worried
overheated a
about
bit.
it.
I think it overheated.
Okay, so what'd you put on?
I've got my Class 03, which is doing better.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
really was instinctively wanting to go there, but my brain's like, no, put the French one.
Yeah,
But I need
you
to
gotta
go to
put the
good
French
French.
on the
I got to
French.
find a 241, and the only one I can find online, the cheapest is like $885.
Yikes.
Yeah. Well, they were like $699 when they came out, and they sold out like that.
Gotcha.
If I could even find an old one that I can convert to digital, like an old Märklin one, I would do that.
Ooh.
Did I go too far? No, that's good enough. Yeah, maybe.
So you survived your drive to and from Deschler, Bob?
And the camping there.
That was a bit of a hike. Yeah.
He and Papa John slept out there.
Yeah, I know they did.
But the
That's
Lufthansa
pretty
Express,
crazy.
the 3 cars that are lit
There
are
you
from the
go.
set, and then the next one is
Okay.
the other Märklin, and then 2 Fleischmann, but they're all the same size. They all match.
Oh, that's good. You have to like the other ones then, huh?
So yeah,
The
it's
Flying Scotsman would look good pulling the Orient.
the Flying
Maybe.
Scotsman would look good pulling the Orient. I probably should have done that. I really should have done that. The Flying
Airline
Scotsman
kickoff
would look
at
great
7
pulling
p.m.
that.
on Sunday due to weather. I don't know. They're starting to push this really hot air out.
Absolutely, Andy.
Today-
The Flying Scotsman would look awesome pulling.
Today is supposed to be our last day of this just crazy heat.
Hey, Flymo.
Hey, Flymo.
No such thing as arriving late.
Of course not. So sorry, I'm getting hoarse. Ugh. I had a lot of drainage. So,
Oh, there's Sir Artie. Hello,
yeah,
Artie.
temperatures are supposed to get back to what are fairly normal highs in here. So,
You hear Papa John snoring.
a lot of A's and so on. Wow, you could hear him.
Yeah, you're going to get this seat that
You
we're
could
just getting
hear him
rid of.
snoring even past the trains, huh? Wow.
I don't know. Maybe I'll do that. I do want to see if this guy is okay.
Park in the backyard with your tent truck. Yeah. Well, why not? Oh, you got another heat wave coming. Yeah, it's probably this one. I'm passing it on to you. It stinks. Although it was cool. Right now, it sounds pretty nice. Artie, you got some? Hi, by the way, Artie. Yeah, heat indices, because it's so humid, have been in the 40s, and it's just bleh. It's gross. I'm trying to bring Rose, which means no camping. Where are you going to next? Yeah, well, that's all right. Lionel, hi, everybody. I think it's good enough. Yeah, I would imagine so. You know, and I understand why you don't want air. Unfortunately, it just seems to be getting longer and hotter each year.
No, I grew up without air conditioning.
Hi,
I'll spoil
Annabelle.
myself. I won't live anywhere without air conditioning. I don't like living where you get this hot.
All right, just for the point of it, I am not counting the days until we go back to work. Nor am I counting the days to retirement yet. Oh, to Ray Bobles. Oh, you're going to that one. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, cook out of the depot yesterday, and it was hot. Yeah. You guys are used to a little more heat than we are.
Found a few places in Germany that had ranch dressing. Oh.
They see a ranch dressing. Oh, I don't know that I saw a ranch dressing. I really love the salads in Germany, and they don't ask you. They just give you whatever they're giving you.
Yeah, we have one dressing.
I kind of like that, actually.
Winter school vacation started here for 2 weeks.
Gotcha. Okay. Why? Just cause, huh? Time?
Well, it's about that time.
About the middle of this, middle of the year.
We had a cookout at the depot yesterday and the day before, Joyce, and it was hot. Yeah.
Yeah, it was awful.
Trust me, I used to work our German American festival in the potato pancake house on the grills. And the grills were so hot, but it would be 90 to 100 degrees out on the concourse.
Not usually.
And you were actually at that point happy to be behind the grill because you weren't feeling that heat. You were feeling the heat off the grill.
Winter,
so when you walked out, you didn't feel, if anything, it felt cooler. The poor people that are working at the counter with all the customers.
They're working late at night. It wasn't that cold, that hot.
Hey, sir. Andy 156 shortbread. Hope you're well.
Yeah.
Careful, Randall. Now you're going to get Joyce going.
What happened?
It's not he says, it's the humidity that gets you. And as you say, it's not the humidity. It's the dew point.
Well, yeah, you measure humidity with the dew point, not percentages.
Oh, you're going to play gentler now.
Yeah, no, Randall's fine with what he's saying there. Do you know what your dew point is, Randall?
Ever since you learned that, I'd complain about the humidity, and you go, "What's the dew point that's killing us?"
Well, but it's still humidity.
That's what I would say. That's what I would say. So no, yeah, but it's the dew point.
No, it's how you measure it.
You're on the camera, so now you're trying to look sweet.
No, it's how you measure. You say, "Oh, it's 100% humidity." That doesn't mean that much.
No.
That's what the dew point is. It's telling you how sticky it is.
Yes, because you often have 100% humidity in winter.
Yes.
But that's why something you don't have to deal with, but I would have frozen icicles on my beard and mustache.
Yeah, no doubt. And it says hello to the laddies. Well, you guys need to see what it feels like since you guys sent comics here, Simon.
Yeah, Artie, they
Wow.
sent convicts.
I'll look it up for
They
you.
sent convicts to Australia and their religious fanatics to America. Guess who got the better end of that deal?
I'll look you up.
Look who up.
Randall.
Who?
Randall.
Oh, Thayer? Well, that's where he's at.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but yes, I have had, I have definitely had ice particles frozen to the beard and mustache at times.
Yeah, you're probably in the 70s just based on your low. Your low and your dew point are usually
Hi,
pretty
laddies and
close.
lassies or lassies?
No,
Laddies
it's
and
not
ladies
a
or
low.
lassies? Hello again, Sir Tom.
No. Sorry. Oh, what it feels like.
I always like it, the guys that do the jokes with like weather forecast for Alderaan. It's like hot and they give temperatures, and then
Yeah.
last day, 5 million Celsius
5 million Celsius.
because
yeah.
the Death Star blew it up.
Sure, yeah.
Well, hello, Sir
better
John, the big
information.
friendly giant railroad.
Hi, John Frank.
Randall says dew point says 73 right now.
Okay,
Makes the temperature feel like 101.
right.
Yeah, that's roughly where we're at. Although, like I said, our heat index got up to 107, 108 yesterday or the day before. Which day was it the hottest?
My report says your dew point 74.
He said it's 73. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, your local guys probably know, but it's uncomfortable.
Just trying to be contrary.
Eh, that is uncomfortable.
No, wait for it to come around.
It doesn't tell me anymore either. Huh.
Okay, so here's the Orient Express coming through.
Yeah, pretty.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Yep.
That's a stunner.
Sure.
Look at those little lamps lit up on the tables. It
Yeah.
needs people. And what it really needs is like
Mostly
dinner
people.
plates. It needs dinner plates and people
Right,
eating.
yeah, there you
That
go.
would really look cool. Oh, but then the winter train, I was going to try to have you catch that one.
Okay,
Have to catch it next time around.
yeah.
I am really liking that train. And of
I'm
course,
glad.
John, every time I say that, John has to comment, well, that's true about everything in Denmark. No, it's not. Just knock it off. It just happens to be a gorgeous train. And if you Danish knew anything, you'd still be running that train with that livery. But no, you quit. Why? Because you don't know good when you got
We
it.
have chance of storms the next 4 days.
Chance of storms.
And it's chance. It's going to be scattered. So
There's
you know how
chance.
that goes. So the wind here this week's been freezing cold. Arctic Class. Yeah, you'll hear us all complain in the winter.
All you have to do is watch. All you have to do is watch radar over Toledo. You'll have this big wall of storms stretching from northern Michigan and Wisconsin all the way down to Tennessee. And it comes, and we'll say, here's Toledo on the map. And when you zoom in on Toledo, the storm just goes, it just splits. And we might get a little rain or nothing at all. And 5 miles south of us gets a tornado. 10 miles north of us gets hail and a downpour. And we get nothing.
Huh.
No Scotland, no party. No. We didn't say anything about crazy people being deported. No, you kept the crazy people. You just the UK shipped the criminals one place and the religious fanatics the other way.
Yeah.
It didn't say they shipped crazy people out
Yeah. Just criminals.
because most of your crazy people are in the royal families.
What is that?
Look, Walter Tart's lobbing scimitars is not the basis for a system of justice or a system of government.
for yours.
Hey, if you want to play like that, let's turn the cameras off. If I were pinching you like that right now, I'd be called being a perv on camera. But no, you can get right around and do it. Here, you've got some fuzz here. Let me help.
Yeah. People died for food poisoning. That's harsh.
Considering, well, yeah, it would be food poisoning considering the food they were served was plastic. But the people were plastic.
Yeah, so no one.
If anything, they started starvation because they never ate.
Don't look honest.
Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. This is a cool. I am just really digging this train.
Yeah, it's pretty indeed.
It's going to make a great Christmas train, but it makes a cool train now.
Forced us to get a bigger bag. But how do you measure dew point? Dew point is the amount of water that the air can hold at any given time. Measure it with a hygrometer. Or my hair.
Yes. Joyce's hair is a barometer.
Hygrometer. Yeah, the more humid
Or a
it is,
hydrometer, whatever.
the curlier it is.
The more humid, the curlier she gets.
It's not like the 1980s. What happened in the 1980s? Food poisoning?
What? I think he's talking about that.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Let's see, I lived through the 80s. And you're right, it's not the
You did.
1980s.
No, hair shrunk a bit.
Oh, yeah, I had hair in the 80s, so you know it's not the
That is
1980s.
true. We did have hair in the 80s.
I did have hair in the 80s.
Yeah.
I lost my hair in the mid-90s. Late 90s. I was losing it through the early 90s.
Big hair and shoulder pads, yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, I remember a couple of years where it wasn't just the big hair, but all the girls were carrying the giant cans of Aquanet, like this big, in their giant purses, but then they would have their bangs way up.
Yeah.
Way up.
And the only way it stayed up was that Aquanet.
But they used so much hairspray, they literally were carrying, I'm not exaggerating, the cans were that
They
big.
put a hole in the ozone
Anybody
layer.
alive
That's
at
what
that
they
time in either New York, yeah, they had
the
cans
old
of
folks
Aquanet
remember
this
that,
big.
putting a hole in the ozone layer and how we couldn't use aerosols and
Oh, see, I take that as an insult. My ego is not that fragile. I know how old I am. I know how I look. I don't need, but you still look 21.
Now we use Aquanet for the layout. Yeah.
Yeah, now we use Aquanet for the layout and the scenery.
I stuffed up. I killed all the ants. They're the best.
No, Joyce is the one that when
we
she,
get flooding rain.
that,
yeah, they come into the house. Gotcha.
I married Joyce when she was 21. And
Sure.
you don't look 21 anymore, but you sure as hell don't look 60 either.
No, I don't like it though.
Me, I feel like I look my age. Joyce still looks years younger.
I looked at
There was a painting of Joyce growing old somewhere under
I
a
remember
tarp.
sitting in the car looking at Anthony thinking, he's going to lose that hair. Do I care? And the answer was no.
Kira, when I was younger, like even when I was 10, my grandpa said I was a 40-year-old trapped in a 10-year-old body. But I flipped it. Now that I'm 60, I'm like a 12-year-old trapped in a 60-year-old body.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I was old when I was young, and now that I'm young, I'm old. Or I was old when I was young, and now when I was young, I was old, and now that I'm old, I act young.
There you go.
Acting young is not the correct term. The correct term would be I am immature.
Yeah,
I don't
but
act young, I'm immature.
When you get older, it's easy to be immature. Are you 10 years immature? Are you 50 immature? Are you 20 immature?
Please be nice. Don't ask me how old you are and then say, please be nice. I thought you were mid-30s, mid-late 30s.
Last year, early weather system. Yesterday, walking home in the sun, put an umbrella up. I knew it's about
Pull
to
the
rain.
ball of hairspray out of
it's
your
hot.
final.
Yeah,
That's funny.
that makes sense.
Mid-late 30s, 38, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, your streets got flooded this week.
I don't know. That happens pretty regularly, doesn't it, Artie?
You told you were 45.
Oh, that's crazy.
I have to act my age because my body lets me know my age.
Yeah.
My brain refuses to acknowledge. My brain still thinks I can run the full sprint, make the great catch, make the amazing move, and then my body says, you're insane. What the hell do you think you're thinking?
Yep.
You can't do that anymore.
Yep. Yeah.
But there, see, that's the conscious mind versus the primal mind.
Yeah.
The primal mind, in this case, the primal mind thinks I can do it, and the conscious mind's like, no, told you couldn't do it.
No way.
It didn't always do well in the classroom either. The kids loved it, but the parents and the administrators didn't. Mr. Dodge, do you really say this in class? Yes. How is this any part of your lesson? Well, let me explain. See, it ties in this. So I did this bit, and the joke made this part funny and understandable to a bunch of teenagers who got the joke. I'm sorry, you guys don't get the joke, but because I have the mind of a teenager, I know what's funny to a teenager.
It was funny, yeah. Oh,
it's funny.
Yeah, it's just because you're mature. Kid.
I'm laughing on the inside.
Right.
No, I until I grew facial hair. In fact, if I were to take off my facial hair, I'd still look like an old baby. A curse of the Dodge men. We have very soft-skinned faces.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, I even shaved off for the first time in 3 years. I shaved off the
beard,
the full beard, and went back to the goatee. It's been like 2.5 years.
Where was that picture from?
I don't know. I've had it for a long time. That was one of your school pictures.
Yeah, it was.
That might have been. Heck, that might have been at Reynolds, but that might go back to East Side.
They look a lot older than that.
Well, the shorter hair, but yes, your face was aged a bit from there.
Yeah, right.
But you were in your 20s here, 30 at most.
Yeah.
That was 30 some years ago. I had that picture on my desk for the last 20 years of my career.
Right.
I never replaced it.
Huh.
It was the picture I would replace it with. You wouldn't want me having in the classroom.
The brain works. It says you better start
brain worked for
basic
once.
scenery on the top is all.
Oh, that's cool.
I think you're right. Partially deflated.
Chris, I look like
orangutan?
a partially deflated orangutan.
Wow.
Oh, I need to shave every couple of days. Joyce's dad sometimes need to shave twice a day. His hair he would shave in the morning and come home and shave again.
Yep.
I need to shave.
I think everybody looks younger when you shave.
If I wait 3 days, it starts bothering me. And that's one of the reasons I grew the full beard, as I went through the itchy part, but I hate shaving. But at the same time, my brother's got a beard down to here. He's got a big Santa Claus or redneck beard. He's because every now and then his picture will come up on my Facebook feed, but he's got a big long beard. I can't grow a beard that long. For some reason, he inherited much more thicker facial hair. I inherited more from my mom's side of the family where they didn't grow facial hair very well. My mom's brothers couldn't grow beard and mustaches to save their lives. My grandfather never had a beard or a mustache. So I can get a decent beard, but it goes through colors. Like when it first comes in, it's kind of gray, and then it gets white, and then when it gets too long, I have on this side, it's very gray, and on this side, it's very white, and it looks weird. I hate it. So I have to keep it trimmed so that the colors are a little closer. But I get that dark gray patch over here. No, on this side. It's on this side. I get them. It comes in when it grows a little longer. It gets very dark gray, and then the rest of it's very white.
Yeah.
I should start doing one of those facial hair coloring things.
Why?
Just for men, beard stuff.
Why?
I don't see if because the funny thing is this hair up here also has started darkening again. Like it went through its very white phase, and now it's like, all right, let's go a little darker. There's just different tones of hair all the way down.
Okay.
But it's the opposite. You would think gray here and darker this way. Nope.
No, I'll tell you, babe.
No, Joyce does not like it if my beard gets too long.
They really don't.
She does not like long beards.
Yeah, how much money you save?
Well, I haven't paid for a haircut in 30 years, 20 years? No, about 25 years. When I started cutting my hair myself. And lately, my son hasn't had to pay for a haircut because he comes up and I do his hair.
Yeah. Yeah, do it on a 5, Dad.
Aaron, though I'm not bald, my brain
You
is
need
larger.
a sheep shearer when you have your haircut.
Nope, I just got level 2 preset on my razor, and just every 3 weeks it's zzz, 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 zip. Oops, there go the glasses. Because I'm not wearing the glasses when I do it. Zip, 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 zip. And done. Haven't. My shears, my trimmers paid for themselves a long time ago. I think I paid $29.99 for them about 25 years ago.
Bob says, no, you can't unsee that. Your dark side and your light side.
Yeah, if you look close, you will see it. This side is darker.
Steady loves.
Yeah.
I can't unlook.
Hey, it drives me crazy. It might as well drive other people crazy too. You're just polite. You don't say anything. Then again, you only see one side of my face most of the time.
That's not true.
Well, you know, when we go out to eat, you sit across from me, but you're looking at the food, not me most of the time anyhow.
The style. Pick Gandalf the gray or white or both.
Yes, that's it. Gandalf the grayish white. But there is that moment. It lasts about 3 days where when I do grow the full beard, which is why I've kept it the last few years, where it comes in as just the right shade of grayish white, and I think it looks good on me. I'm still trying to get used to not having the beard because I've had the beard for a while now. For years, I had just a goatee, and then I grew the beard in, and then I trimmed it off to go to Getz, and then I grew it right back. And that was 2024. So yeah, it's been 2 full years since I have shaved the cheek hair. But I thought I needed a change. I decided I needed a change.
Why? Well, I know many guys around my age as they're slipped from above their eyebrows to their chins.
My problem is the ears. That's the real old age. When you start getting the hairs that just pop out of the ears like a hamster tried to crawl its way in and got stuck. Just got that white hamster ass hair sticking out from your ears. Or the occasional random one out of your nose. A couple of times, Joyce has had to point out that I had a weird hair. One. Why is it just one hair in the eyebrow? You know, it's never like the whole eyebrow. There's just one hair in the eyebrow that's like, hey, guys, have you ever tried going this long? It's always just that one hair in the eyebrow. And rarely is it both eyebrows where there's one in each. There's just that one random eyebrow. Hey, guys. And Joyce just comes in and says, honey, you need to trim that eyebrow.
That's because it bothers me.
Today is like, if tomorrow's like today, you'll be streaming from MM Beach.
A lot of whales in the area.
A lot of whales in the area heading north. Oh, we understand that.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a happy memory.
People think I use Miracle Grow for your hair.
You have one tuft that sticks up. Anthony, Joyce, did you watch your live stream at Crew Party? No, I think we were gone. And not to Germany, but we were gone on a trip with family. I've got one eyebrow that grows upwards, the other grows sideways. No, my eyebrows are actually fairly consistent, but I do get that random one that just, you know, and immediately straight across. Yeah, the Crew Party was on 30th of May, and we
took off.
Well, we left June 2nd.
Okay.
But we went somewhere on the 30th.
No, you have no reason not to watch it. That's just it.
No, I'm saying we didn't watch it because it was a Sunday and we were gone somewhere.
It's a lot of parters. Well, you go chase it.
Your ears could have a demi-wave. Yeah. I hate watching myself on a live stream or making a video, and then after I make the video, I go, oh my God. And I've got to remake the video after I go and shave my ears down.
I bet you're not alone. Can we do it next year, Simon?
It's like you get that one nose hair that hangs down like Batman trying to escape. Quick, Robin, to the nose hair before he wakes up.
Your two girlfriends once hold you down to cut your eyelash. Wow. Finally, we need the curlers.
Two girlfriends who held you down to cut it.
And he misses those days.
Were they in black leather? And never mind. One had stiletto heels on your chest. They had, now we will cut your eyebrows. Sounds kinky.
Is that a prize you want to win? The messiest layout?
The messiest layout. My layout's not messy in and of itself, although there's a lot of disruption over here behind me still. That's the one thing also I didn't find to buy. I didn't find any Fowler car chassis, for the buses. I was going to buy a couple of those. I'll have to order them.
Ryan says hello, and then he ran away and got distracted, and then he gets whiny. But now he says hello again.
Uh-oh. All right. All right. Plug your ears, everybody. Plug your ears. Plug your ears.
Yeah, because we can do it this time.
Here we go. Here we go. All right, are you ready?
Yep.
Here we go. Cayenne! Opa loves you!
Opa loves you!
Hey, Cayenne buddy, how are you?
Hi, sweetie, and hi, Lenny, and Chris.
And Lenny and Chris, and
baby.
You guys are, of course, in our thoughts a lot right now.
Yep.
Cayenne! Opa's running all his new trades.
Yep.
Although he is kind of running some of the one of the trains you kind of set up, I left up, but I added the tankers, and I put the new. Because that's a couple of the other cars I got. I got a new Flips train car. This one's out of the box. I showed them last week. And got this guy out of the box. I still need one more like this. The problem is this one doesn't light up, and the cars I put it with do light up. But I need at least one more like this.
Well,
Now, Roko's
that's
releasing a 4-car set that has cars like that do light up, but it's close to 500 euros, or $500, I should say. Huh. Uncle Diggy eyebrows. My mom's dad, he died with an Elvis Presley wave of hair, gray, but big pompadour of hair.
You look like you're shaggy.
But Grandpa Ritz had eyebrows, very thick eyebrows. But yeah, nobody in our family had big bushy eyebrows. Nobody on either side of my family, my mom's side of the family. Grandpa had very thick eyebrows with an occasional random hair out, but it wasn't the really big bushy ones that you sometimes picture on people. Pop goes the weasel. But that Thalys is down there running like a little dream too. Although I just kicked the camera. Well, apparently I did no damage. Good.
Yeah, everybody seems to be doing well down there.
Say what?
Everybody seems to be doing well down there.
Yep. Oh, actually, other than the 231 giving up the ghost here, everybody's run well.
Good.
No gremlins to speak of.
Good.
Just I asked the 231 to do more than it could.
Mm-hmm. So
And on the other side, you got the little red shunter in the background there.
6, 7,
See how fast he's going around?
Yeah.
According to the Märklin, he's doing 20 kilometers an hour.
Wow.
If he's doing 20, he's not doing 20 kilometers an hour scale speed. He's doing 50 miles an hour actual speed. There goes that snow train.
Those two are together, yeah.
See, my brain's already trying to decide what am I going to run next week.
Yeah.
I ran all the new trains this week.
Hi, Todd Armstrong.
Hey, Sir Todd, how are you? Nice to see you.
Hey, y'all, if you haven't hit the like button yet, please hit the like button. You know we really love it when you do.
Well, I got a couple of those, Andy, just random hairs from particularly the right ear that just... I should just let it grow, and then swirl it on top and perm it and make it look like I've got a head. I've grown a full head of hair.
There you go.
With a small castle.
3 kilometers
Maybe
per
a tad
hour.
big. Yeah,
Honesty
maybe.
officer.
No, that was weird to actually have to go find a suitcase to get all my trains home.
Yeah. Oh, it was due to happen, but we know where to look. We got ourselves a fairly
the key
relatively inexpensive
is there the
bag.
thought that that's ever going to happen again to this degree? I don't think so. I don't want to keep buying another bag of luggage and have a collection of luggage. I either just pack that green one half empty. Oh, same here. I'll sometimes see it about half an inch, but yeah. But
Yeah,
I
that
do when I
depends on
shave. I
the
always
distance.
just go along my ears with the razor as well, just as. And then I've actually got actual ear hair trimmers that I try to go along as well. Oh, your mom says shave. We all start that way. I mean, I still, again, a lot of this is inherited. Like, I actually cannot grow hair right here. I just grow really long lip hair that covers it up and makes it look like I've got hair there. But for some reason, I don't grow any hair in there.
Yep. I saw a steam locomotive in the thumbnail. You pass false advertising?
What's that?
Yeah, you got a steam loco on there.
I've got 2 steam locomotives,
2 steam
Chase.
locos on here. Yeah, you got a steamer pulling the.
Yeah, one steamer's coming at you right now in the middle at the top. Boom, there's one. Pulling the Orient Express. And the other one will be coming at you in just a second again. Line 5. So line 1 and line 5 both have steamers.
Right.
Wild, man, wild. But the Thalys is a new guy, running him down in the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm digging that Thalys down there.
Ooh. Oh, I've been doing this all day.
What's that?
I've
Yawning?
been yawning all day. Like I didn't get enough sleep or something.
Well, you did go to bed late.
Yeah,
You went to bed late. You still woke up about 8:30.
Yeah.
Okay, now that's too much information.
Well, you do that. Yeah, I gotta get up early to walk though.
Yeah,
And
well,
take
with the
care of
weather,
my
yeah, you got and take care of the plants. Really would like to put either hope it rains or put the sprinkler out on the yard.
See if anything's growing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm wearing a pair of shorts here, so I don't know. You can see I have actually rather hairless legs. I have made many women jealous.
Yep.
According to my mother, this is a condition that runs in her family. There's a name for it, and I don't know what the hell it is. But yeah,
Hey, Train 68 has joined us.
Well, hey, Train 68.
You can unsee.
Well, I appreciate that.
Welcome, Train
What I need
68.
is to get color on my legs.
Thank you, Steve. You take care. Steve 87 is leaving.
Steve PSAP is leaving. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with us for a while. And welcome to Train 68. I gotta tell you a night of the Rhomboid Table. You are now a Knight of the Rhomboid Table, Train 68. If you have a channel that you would like to promote, yours or somebody else's, that it can be train related, it can be any other hobby, fishing, hunting, jets, anything, comedy, movies, just no politics, no religion. Well, hello to, from Argentina, I guess I should say buenos dias, although right now it's buenos tardes. Buenos tardes. Every time I say that, I think of the movie The Gentleman.
So, hello, Miyagaro.
I gotta tell you, a Knight of the Rhomboid Table. Well, Migario, you are welcome. No, we're all happy nights. Hey, Sir Valero of Wallachia, welcome back.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome back to you. It's been a while
Yeah.
since we've seen you. We're
Yeah,
here,
it's been a while.
as always. Joyce and I running my trains. New trains. We've got
What
four.
is talking?
We got 4 new trains that I picked up in Germany running. None of the locos are new, just the rake of.
Hey, take care, Josh Cannon. You do the same.
All right, Josh, take care.
Guten Abend.
Guten Abend is good evening. Yes,
in
guten
German.
Abend.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, thanks.
So, but yeah, we're running 3 trains, new trains.
Yeah.
Let's go to the big picture. Let's go to the big picture. No, not that big picture.
Not leaving.
Not that big picture.
Are you leaving already?
Yeah, it's yeah. We're gonna wrap this up in our 6 minutes anyhow.
Yeah. You heard about the dew point.
Yeah, my dad was quite hairy, and my son has inherited that. It passed me by. I did have quite a bit of hair on my legs when I was younger, but I've lost it all. And my mom says it's a condition. I inherited a lot of bad things. The kidney disease that
Good.
crippled the one kidney.
I don't think
Couple
you
other
inherited
conditions.
that.
At least the other one is fine. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here today.
Right.
So we've got like that white tarpaulin car. That's new. That Prima Gas and the first Gatix tanker are new. And then the 2 tankers at the end of this tanker train, those 2 Avias are new. Those are new on that train. Those cars. In the screen on the other side, I'm running the DC Thalys that I picked up. That's new. The little 4-car set. It's a Mehano, but it runs like a dream. I am in love with that little train. And then maybe. And then right here is the Orient Express, my new Orient Express set of coaches, looking gorgeous. Thank you, Simon Jensen, for giving me the opportunity to buy them and for holding them for me until I got over there. Hey, Sir Greg, there you are. And then in the back, you can see the Lufthansa Express. And then one more train should be coming around any minute now. Come on, where are you? There you are. He's coming around the corner right now. He's going tight in the corner. I don't know if he can do it, but this rake of coaches here, this is a Danish 1990s excursion train. Gorgeous train right there.
The Orient Express looks okay.
Yeah, look at that. Looks okay.
Oh, jealousy's not pretty.
And there goes that Lufthansa Express. Yes, the first 3 cars are lit because they're from the actual set. The other 3 cars were from Herb's collection. So, unfortunately, they aren't lit.
Right.
All right, so, yeah, we're getting there. We'll go back to the host slide. So, 4 new trains run today. 3 on the AC layout, 1 on the DC layout. Yeah, the thing is, obviously, the Orient Express is so epic, it's hard to express. The one that it's easier to express is because I didn't expect it to look as cool as it did altogether. I thought it looked cool, but putting it all together is this Danish winter train. It is just, and the Lufthansa Express, of course. So I can't say I have a favorite, but I'm so thrilled to have the Lufthansa Express. But the Danish train is one that I was just wanting to put together for the winter. And now I've got it. All right, Flymo, take care. No, unfortunately, there's no lights in them. There's no lights in them. So yeah, I had a great time buying trains in Germany. I have no regrets. I found what I was looking for. I could have had more. I could have brought home a Märklin TGV. It was at a good price, but it was just the box was so big. I wouldn't have been able to get it in the suitcase with the other trains I brought home. Yeah, I knew it was about this time last year.
Yeah, that's rough.
It's rough.
Sure.
Unfortunately, in our own family, Kyan just lost his other grandfather.
Chris's dad.
My son-in-law, Chris's father passed away. Actually, probably while we were in Germany, but it wasn't discovered until a few days ago.
Yeah.
My grandfather died almost 50 years ago, and I think the saddest thing in the world for me, because my grandfather meant the world to me, is I can no longer hear his voice. I can't remember his voice.
Right.
Anytime I remember my grandfather talking to me, it's my voice.
Train 68.
I no longer remember my grandfather's voice, and it's not recorded anywhere that I'm aware of.
Train 68 says, well, how big is your layout? It looks big.
How big is my layout? Well, my layout is 23 feet along the back. Well, 22 feet along the back. It is, as you're looking here, so let's go to that one. No, not that one. Not that one either. This one. There we go.
Trains of
nothing. All right. So as you're looking here, this table is right here. This table is 8 foot wide by 11.5 feet deep. So one section, 8 foot wide, 11.5 foot deep. The middle section is 30 inches by 6 feet. So 30 inches deep by 6 feet, this part here. And then that table is 8 feet wide by 12.5 feet. So 8 by 11.5, 8 by 12.5. Sorry, I'm not doing metric. So 2 meters by 2.5, 2 meters by 2 3/4. Well, 8 feet is more like 2.5 meters wide by 3.
Yeah, so it's a good size.
So yes, it is a good size. I am lucky. I'm in a basement.
You have the room to do it. Oh.
Look how I carried my icy before I got in Germany.
You got a Märklin Rheingold.
I was carrying 3 boxes before we got the extra suitcase.
Okay, cool.
You got a Märklin Rheingold. It's secondhand and adapted for DC.
So you got a good price.
Yeah, I've got 2 Rheingolds sitting up on the... I'm going to have to do a show where I run both Rheingolds and the Orient Express.
All right, Philip.
Hey, Philip Gabrielson. Unfortunately, you're joining us right about the time we got to start calling it.
Yeah.
The 3-hour tour is ending. 3-hour tour. 3-hour tour. Sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started on a faded layout with an owner full of shit.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
You're singing. Yeah, breakfast time indeed.
So, yep, it is that time. Once again, happy or sad. That's up to you. Yeah, breakfast time for some, bedtime for others, dinner time for some of us.
Mm-hmm.
But it was great to be back in the old command station. I know I was there last week, but it wasn't a set-up live stream. It was just rushing home, and I did manage to run trains last week because what the heck, I was there at the command center, and I had trains on the layout. but this was going to be special. Now that it's over, I'm kind of relieved. I did kind of my French 231 here is not in good shape. I taxed it too much, and it's going to need some work. I'm going to have to buy a more powerful French locomotive. But so. No gremlins today, knock on wood. No gremlins today at all. That was awesome. The Thalys ran great down here. I am so jacked about that Thalys. And then, of course, the Danish set of cars. I was not expecting them to be as brilliant as they looked. I was happy to have them. I thought they'd look cool as a Christmas train, but it's just a gorgeous train, period. I'm really thrilled. And, of course, the gold nugget I was searching for, that Lufthansa Express, on top of the Märklin Orient Express. So, yeah, it was good that they all ran and did a great job. Yep. So, on that note, I want to thank everybody for joining in. All of you watch later and watch this late. And thanks to all of you people that watch this in rerun. We appreciate it. But until next Friday, and I don't think I'll have any new videos coming out, although there might be a song coming out because I'm working on a couple. I need to get back to Matt Clark, of course. But until then, I'm going to say...
Auf Wiedersehen.
Wrong. See, we're out of practice. Auf Wiedersehen.
Choose.
And happy trains. Take care, everybody.
You didn't get it started. I was going to.
Oh, impatient. I didn't get it started. So yeah.
Yep.